All right, Shalom, Shalom. It's your brother AHBAD from GMS YAHAWAH, GMS Petersburg, Florida. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahawah, Bahasham, YAHAWASHI, Bahasham, Barakakadash, the bottom of the apostles of the great millstone who rule well, seeking under salutation to all your sincere brothers, pushing his word in the four corners of the earth. Peace and blessings also be to the sincere men, women, and children that consist of the 1/3 who are members of the body of Yahawashi. Peace and blessings also be to the confusing faces of the four corners of the earth. Shalom, peace and blessings be unto you all. Basically, I just want to go into what's happening right now in Venezuela at this present time. As you can see, you have the EU, some nations in the EU, and you have the United States who are trying to uproot Maduro as being the president, and they're actually forcing him to do an election. And he said he's not doing another election to 2025. And China and Russia also back Maduro, and I'm going to get into that reason why United States and EU is against it, and why China and also Russia is backing them and backing Maduro. All right, but this is my article from RT, of course. Speaking about how the Italy deputy speaks out against Venezuela regime change. Okay, it says Italy does not recognize Venezuela opposition leader Juan Guaido as its interim president. The European country's deputy foreign minister said, warning that a Libya-style regime change must be avoided. Okay, and you know what happened in Libya after they got Gaddafi out of there? This is basically what happened to Gaddafi. And they forced him out of there so that they can put their own political leaders in there, claiming that Gaddafi wasn't on. And this was actually publicized. This was actually put on the news. When they brought him out, and they say that he was mistreating the citizens of that country. He wasn't a good political leader. All the propaganda. And then, lo and behold, if you look at the state of Libya now, since they quote-unquote been liberated by the United States, they are in a worse condition in Libya than they were when Gaddafi was there. All right. The same goes for, I forgot his name. The name escapes me. For the other leader that was ruling over Sudan. So, right. So this is basically just a coup. What they're trying to do down here in Venezuela. All right. And let me remind you, Venezuela has the world's largest reserve of oil. All right. At one point, it was the richest South American country in the world, but now it's in a state of economic decline, inflation, and failure. All right. And it says right here, it says today the greatest interest we have to avoid a new war in Venezuela. All right. Manlio Di Stefano told Italy's TV 2000 network on Thursday that the kind of regime change, all right, Shalom Maki Helbashim Al Shai Bashim Kakadash Barakata Malak. He added that the kind of regime change that failed in Libya must not be attempted, as it turned out to be a mistake that everyone recognized today. All right. So now, with that said, I'm gonna go down a little bit. It's something that he said here. It said the 5-star movement politicians' comments came the same day the EU Parliament voted in a non-legislative resolution to recognize Guaido as interim president of the oil-rich South American nation. All right, oil is like liquid gold. I understand that. So it says the EU's. I'm gonna get to the point. The EU's call for fresh elections had initially been supported by Italian Foreign Ministry Enzo. All right. Mavero Milanesi, all right? So he said at first he was with it, but listen to what it says after that. It says, however, De Stefano spoke out against the support given by third-party nations to Guaido, all right? Shalom, Maki. How about Shimi Al-Shai, about Shim Kakadash Barakatah to you, man, all right? Saying Italy was totally against attempts to interfere in internal policies of another country, all right? So I went into that. It is called the principle of non-interference, and it's recognized by the United Nations. So I went into that word with that phrase, all right, and it says right here. Let me zoom in. I know y'all brothers probably can't see that. So lock you. Let me zoom in just a wee bit so y'all can get a closer look at what I'm looking at here. All right. I don't know why the screen is blurry like that. So lock you. Give me a boom. All right, there we go. Spirit. And it says non-intervention non-interference in domestic affairs. In international law, the principle of non-intervention includes, but is not limited to, is always a loophole, to the prohibition of the threat or use of force against the territorial integrity or political independence of any state. Now, hold on. Now, I could have sworn that when they had the presidency, they said that Russia was tampering with the votes, which we know that was false. So how is it that this is their own independent country? All right. And you're trying to tell them that they have to do a re-election? That's hypocrisy right there. All right. You should not be intervening in their own territorial integrity or political independency, man. All right. The politicians and the people that vote for who they want to be their leader, their prime minister. Now America saying you have to vote again because we back Guido. Man, Guido, man, that's just wickedness, man. They go to show you that Esau Edom, man, he does not want to abide at his he can't keep it at home. Matter of fact, I'm just gonna pull that out real quick. It's a spirit that made me think about that precept. I'm going to the book of Habakkuk really quick. All right, because Esau Edom was always putting his head in in the backyard of another man's home or another man's country, and the state of America is on a decline. They just had the biggest bust of fentanyl, if I'm not mistaken. All right, and you had a whole bunch of Edomites that could have been dead from them discovering that. They just had found a drug trafficking ring down in Atlanta, and you worrying about what's going on down in Venezuela. Get out of here. This is Habakkuk 2:5. Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth to him all people. But the point I want to get at is he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home. Okay, so you're always butting and put America, the so-called white man, Esau Edom, always butting and putting their heads in somebody else's business and not even minding their own. Okay, so now going back here, it says little known both inside and outside Venezuela until he declared himself to be the interim president of the country on January 23rd. All right. Parliament Speaker Guido has received enthusiastic backing from the U.S., Canada, and neighboring Colombia and Brazil, but they have no business being there, pertaining to the non-intervention principle of non-intervention. All right. So now I'm going back to the article, and I'm going to get to the point. It says, meanwhile, this is what I want to get at. Russia, China, Iran, Cuba, and Turkey are among those sticking by elected President Maduro. And all these countries are supposed to be enemies, according to America, and some countries in the EU are as opposing forces, you know, especially with Russia. Ever since Putin back, what's your boy name? Assad in Syria, all right? Ever since China and Russia have been dealing in nuclear arms, and they've been talking about opening up the Silk Road. Iran has never stopped enriching uranium, which I'm not against, and they say that they will blow Israel off the face of the map if they ever drop another missile over there in Syria. Cuba had their debt paid off by Russia, okay, and you know they doing deals, and Turkey basically excommunicated themselves from NATO, if I'm not mistaken, not EU but NATO. Okay, so all these countries are quote unquote supposed to be villainized by America. All right. So I'm gonna read this part, and I'm gonna go into the reason why the U.S. and the other countries are against Russia and China actually being an affiliate with Venezuela or Maduro. In a direct video appeal to U.S. citizens on Thursday, Maduro called the campaign against him a set, financed, and actively supported by the Donald Trump administration. I like this part. He also warned that any attempt to put U.S. troops on Venezuelan soil would result in a quagmire like Venezuela. In other words, a mess, man. All right, so it's going to get bad, okay? I'm going to go to that word coup real quick before I get to my point. Look for that, research that word coup. Coup. A sudden, violent, and illegal seizure of power from a government. Lo and behold, exactly, man. Okay, that's the spirit. So now I'm gonna go into the reason why U.S. and the EU are against China and Russia actually backing Maduro. Now, this is an article. Venezuela oil joint venture thrives within months of China deal. So China put a lot of money into Venezuela. All right, I'm gonna just get to a few key points, man, and I'm not gonna make this too long. It says Sinovinsa, which is located in the Orinoco oil belt in southern Venezuela, and it's the second largest partly foreign oil operation, now produces some 130,000 barrels per day. Okay, CVP said in their Facebook post, the report is a sharp contrast from April's, which was 6,400 barrels per day, man. All right, so that's a very big increase in production. Understand? It says September's bilateral strategic agreement with China, since September, all right, opened a world of doors for the South American country after the brutal sanctions imposed by the United States cost the nation some $6 billion since August, man. All right. The sanctions have targeted a range of Venezuelan trading possibilities, including banning the trade in Venezuelan debt or in Venezuelan gold. All right. So Esau already been had it in their mind to basically what's the word I'm looking for? To put sanctions on Venezuela so that they can actually fall further and further into economic distress. Because after Chavez, he was bitten off of power and also bit off of pride. After there was a strike by the employees of the oil refinery. I think it's the oil production company. What he did, he fired like 18,000 of his well-trained technicians and engineers, and then he put his own supporters in there in that process. He lost a lot of money. All the cash reserve and revenue was all gone, you know. So all that is what really started to decline. Okay, now America, knowing that they have the biggest oil reserve over there in Venezuela, now they want to try and get in on it. But not America, but China, Venezuela, and Russia ain't having it. China has lent over $50 billion to Venezuela through oil for loan agreements over the past decade, securing energy supplies for its fast-growing economy, man. So that's the reason why China backing them. Man, we letting them billions of dollars, man. We've been dealing with them for the past decade. Now all of a sudden, United States want to put their own political figure in the house, man, and the same status Maduro. Get out of here, man. They're not having that. All right. So now let's go into Russia. Dollars in Russian investment. As you can see, Maduro and Vladimir Putin, man, about to shake hands. Venezuela's president, Nicolas Maduro, has announced more than $6 billion in Russian oil and gold mining investments in the crisis-racked South American country, man. So they already been dealing with this money. And that's why Russia and China saying, listen here, we got your back. And about a month ago, Russia had dropped a nuclear bomber over there. And the United States was livid. They didn't like that, but they had a problem with that. But they're doing it because they basically protecting their assets, man. That's what they're doing. It said in the video message, wow, that went off. In a video message posted on his official Twitter account, Maduro said that contracts were signed to guarantee an oil investment of more than $5 billion and contracts worth over $1 billion in the mining sector, mainly in gold production. And America do not like that at all, man. So now you see why they're trying to get Maduro up out of there. They want to put their own political figure there so that they can get that oil. Because listen, you can't run the world with your army or your military without oil, man. Oil is liquid gold, baby. All right, natural resources are the greatest resources on Earth after the resources of humans, man. Because mankind, that's the biggest asset in the world, really. All right, so this is where am I at? Second Ezra chapter 16. Verse 37, it says, behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack, as when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son, within 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb, which pains when the child coming forth, they slack not a moment. All right. So right now, we're like in the 4th trimester. All right, I'm sorry. I mean, the third, I said fourth. We're in the 3rd trimester of a woman giving birth. I'm talking about with these plagues coming with these prophecies. It's getting to the point right now where you can't refute the prophecies coming to pass. Here it is. We're in the year of Charagma. You still got individuals out here, man, saying that the mark of the beast is a philosophy. The mark of the beast is Christianity. The mark of the beast, it was an embargo at one point. Man, the mark of the beast is a physical device that they're trying to put inside of you, man. Okay? Which is also known as the RFID chip. The radio frequency identification device over here in America, the NFC, the near frequency, I forgot what the word C stands for, component, if I'm not mistaken, which over there in the EU, over there in the European countries. So right now, it's at the point where this thing is starting to heighten up. And that's what, even I'm going back to that article real quick. What did he say? Maduro said this in a direct video appeal to U.S. citizens on Thursday. This is to the U.S. citizens. Maduro called the campaign against him a coup, set financed and actively supported by the Donald Trump administration. He also warns, he gave him a warning, that any attempt to put U.S. troops at Venezuelan soil will result in a quagmire like Vietnam. He ain't playing. All right. So matter of fact, I'm gonna go into that word quagmire real quick. And we ain't talking about stew, you know, either. All right, let's see what that word quagmire means. Right. This is the definition I want. An awkward, complex, or hazardous situation, man. You don't want that. Muddle, mix up, a mess. Unfortunate, difficult, awkward situation. Hey, don't put your troops over here, man, because Russia already got a nuclear bomb over here. They already got their money invested in us and China. All right, China has the world's biggest army. Russia has the world's most advanced technological air surface-to-air defense and also nuclear weapons. Stop it. Let's not do this, man. Let's just mind your business and let us mind ours, all right? So going back to 2nd Ezra chapter 16, verse 37. Behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack. These are the times that we are living in, man. As when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son, when a woman breaks her water, there's no way you could that child is coming out. You cannot stop it. All right, it's inevitable. Same thing with the prophecy that's occurring on earth and the things that are occurring through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai. These things are inevitable. We are living in glorious times, all right? Just like the scripture says, this word shall be preaching to the four corners of the earth. The elect has already been woken up in the four corners of the earth all over. Lo and behold, now you already have the CNN, the Fox News, and the social media sites basically blasting Israel all over. You cannot do anything against the truth but for the truth. So right now, the word is really being preached throughout the four corners of the earth, all right? Within 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb, which pains when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment. It says, even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrows shall come upon it on every side, man. And what the scripture says, terror shall make them afraid on every side, man, all right? That's going back to Revelations 12 and 12. The devil, knowing that he had but a short time, man. He have a very short time. The Lord has appointed his time that he shall not pass. He appointed a bounds he cannot pass. This is Luke 21 and 36. It says, watch ye therefore and pray always. This is to you elect brothers out there, all right? That's why we are watching. We have to keep our eyes focused, you know, mainly on things going on in the news and what's occurring in the nation of Israel as well, all right? And I know the brother measured out of time diligently. That's a perfect name for his channel. He always going in on the news, all right? And that's a spirit we really need to be in as well, all right? So watch ye therefore and pray always that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass and to stand before the Son of Man, all right? So that's why we are set up in defense of the gospel, and we are set up to warn the people and to also keep our minds focused on the prize at hand, all right? So I'm just going to bring out one more precept real quick to the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai. All right, but I want to bring this out pertaining to Esau trying to demonize us, and then even 2/3 of our people coming up against us. That one dude, Henry Davis, and this wicked witch named Anointed Princess of Zion, whatever the heck their names are, man. All these people are going to perish as well in their unbelief and their incredulity, like the Lord say. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 13, I believe, verse 8. And it says, for we can do nothing against the truth, but for the truth, man. That's all that matters, man. All you could do is the work of Yahweh Shem Shai and pray that Yahweh Shem Shai keep you from the evils to come, like I just read in 2nd Ezra, the 16th chapter, man. So while these countries are fighting and these countries are bickering one another, and they're trying to hold their empires together while it's crumbling beneath them, the foundation, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai, the house of David, by Yahshua Dawadah, is being built right now before their eyes and before our eyes, and we are those lively stones as well, all right? So nonetheless, though, I just want to bring out this article in this video. I pray you edify with it. I want to give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahawah, Bahashem, YAHAWASHI, Bahashem, Rakakadash. I want to say the apostles of the great millstone who will single-handed salutation to all you sisters and brothers, because they push more truth and sincerity. Peace and blessings also be to all the sister men, women, and children that consists of the 1/3 who are members of the body of YAHAWASHI. And peace and blessings also be to all of you confusion faces out there, the four corners of the earth. Like I always say, man, ask for forgiveness, pray without ceasing, stay humble, remain diligent, man. Hey, Kwame Asha Allah Mawaf Shah, Salaki, Mawaf Lababal. Salaki had a long day, man. With that being said, Shalom, peace and blessings be unto you all.